I love the thing that you always say, carrot
Carrot
or
or
stick.
stick.
That took me a while to learn.
That was also a Ted line, carrot or stick.
Oh, good old Ted Lasso. Oh.
Ted.
Oh.
Ted Lasso.
I've got Ted Lasso on the brain because the new season is
Not
happening.
Ted Lasso. Ted Stimson. Welcome to Ducks Unplugged. 2 generations and plenty of opinions. Every week we go unplugged with real conversations about work, life, relationships, pop culture, and topics we don't even see coming. We hope you'll laugh, relate, and enjoy just unplugging with us for a bit. So, let's see what's on the agenda today. Hi guys, welcome back to Ducks Unplugged. I'm Deanna.
I'm Ashley.
And we are doing part 2 of our What Your Boss Is Really Thinking episode. So today we're going to dive in, pun intended, to leadership opinions that might surprise you. So we're each going to share like a handful of different lessons, approaches that we've sort of learned over the years. And they shouldn't be obvious ones, right? We're going to try to like give you things that maybe you wouldn't expect to hear, or things that are pretty unique to our situations, but that have been really valuable for us to learn.
Yep.
So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm happy to go first.
Do it.
Yes. So my first hot take is, in leadership, I feel like you get into a leadership position and then you automatically think that you need to continue this leadership journey all the way up the chain. My hot take is, you do not have to become CEO to still be a great and effective and efficient leader and feel fulfilled in your career. You can stop at the leadership level that feels good to you.
I totally agree with that. And by the way, not everybody can be CEO.
Exactly.
Right.
But I do feel like when you're younger and you're getting to those first leadership positions, you feel like this pressure, like, okay, and the next I'm going to be this, and the next I'm going to be this. I'm going to go all the way up the chain. And then at some point you get to a level and you're like, this feels really good. Like, I feel fulfilled in being able to be in this leadership role and do my work and whatever else like makes your career happy for you.
Yeah.
And that's great and okay.
And it's okay to stay in that spot. Like, I'm just seeing so many people jumping around lately, and it's like, for what?
Yeah.
If you're in a job, in your example, and you're constantly getting new opportunities, or your responsibilities are evolving and you're becoming more valuable to the company, like that is in effect new opportunities, new jobs, right? Like, you don't need a title change necessarily. You want to be compensated for it. So as long as you're being rewarded, right?
Yep.
And by the way, being at the top of the pyramid is not always as sexy as you think it is.
It is stressful. Yeah, I know. I don't envy you for it. You have a lot on your shoulders.
It can be tough, and I've said it a million times. It can be lonely
at the top. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
And I think people, a lot of times, the rest of the company is like, oh, okay, yeah, it's so hard, it's so lonely, you're making all this money, and you get to make that. It's like, it's not always as sexy as you think it is.
Not rainbows and butterflies.
No, not always. Occasionally I get a rainbow and a butterfly. So I'm stealing this line.
Okay.
I met with my old boss from my last company like a million years ago recently.
Oh, nice.
And we went out, and he sent me a podcast that actually he was a guest on a podcast, and he sent it to me. He wanted to share it. And this was his line. Okay. So I'm giving him credit for it. But I loved it. Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Oh, I like that.
I love that line.
Put it on a bumper sticker.
A lot of times people think like culture is soft, right? And it's like, oh, okay, we're talking about culture. It's like culture, I think, is, in my opinion, in my experience, a foundational principle to your business, right? It's one of the hardest things to build in a healthy, strong, genuine way, right? But it's one of the biggest competitive advantages you can have, because I wrote a couple notes on this one. It's not just about happiness, right? It drives better business results, right? If people trust each other, they share more ideas more freely, they challenge each other respectfully, innovation happens faster. High performers don't spend time compensating for people who don't pull weight. If everybody's pulling their weight and they have respect for each other, then that trust is there and things happen faster. People aren't protecting themselves because they're worried they're going to get thrown under the bus. So they're spending more time solving problems, right? Healthy culture keeps people focused and not worrying about office politics or drama or whatever. And it becomes a filter for every decision, trying to, from a management perspective, you want to hire for culture as well as you do experience and contribution. So who you hire, who you promote, what behavior you tolerate, and ultimately who stays. All that affects culture and contributes to culture. So, and I've had to I've had to, over the years, have conversations with people about the behavior you tolerate, because you might bring somebody in at the start thinking that they're a positive fit, and they are for a period of time, but then something changes. And if any cog in, is that the cog in the wheel? Any cog in the
Yeah,
wheel? Does that make
that's
sense?
right.
All right.
Yeah.
You can't have something that's not working, because it affects all of it.
Yep.
So I loved that line, and I think it's true.
I love that line too. That's a great one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a merch line. Tell him that's his
Yeah.
new merch line.
Yeah. I steal his lines all the time. I told him I was going to steal it.
Great. You gave him the heads up.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be a leader.
It's true.
There are just times when the person is not the right fit for leadership. They may be in a leadership role. It's usually in those bigger organizations.
Yeah.
It's like the strict promotion
You
hierarchy.
just made it. Yeah, exactly. Right.
But does that mean you're actually qualified to be a leader? No. Like
Right.
there are inherent things that leaders have. Some things can be taught, but like there's just a natural ability to lead and understand
I agree.
what's needed to be a leader.
I agree.
So not everyone can do that.
And there's nothing wrong with you if you
Correct.
don't. It's like, I think people think they have to lead.
Correct.
They have to be driving strategy to be valued, and that's not true.
Yeah.
There are. I mean, we've said this at our company too. There are really, really strong and important execution roles at our company. What was Katie's line? Somebody said, strategy is nothing if it's not executed appropriately, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Definitely.
Like, so, and execution is highly, highly valuable, right? So don't feel bad about yourself if you don't think you have a leader
Yeah.
role in your future. You don't want
definitely.
one. Like, that's okay.
And being self-aware of that is so important.
Yeah.
At a former team of mine, there was a woman and they were pressuring me to make her a leader of a team. And she was so good at the project management. Like her projects were gold. She would make everything work and better. And
Yep.
she did not want to be a leader. And they were like trying to force me into getting her to be a leader. And I was like, she doesn't want this.
Yeah.
So finally I sat down with her and then our boss. And she said it. She said, I don't want to be a leader. I'm not the right fit for this.
Yeah.
You want
Good
me
for her.
here.
Yeah.
And she just was continuing to kill it. But she was aware. She was so self-aware that
Good
she
for
was
her.
not the right person to be a leader.
But most people won't speak up like that.
I know. She was
So-
definitely a couple years older than me too.
Yeah.
So like she was more secure in what she had built in her career. But
Yeah.
to stand up to that was good.
Yeah, and to be that self-aware, like
Yeah.
that's really good. I think references are a colossal waste of
They're
time.
so stupid. What are
They
you going
really
to
are.
say something bad about the person?
You legally can't. It's like it's just
ridiculous.
I think they're dumb. I really
Yeah.
do. And it's funny because I still see stuff online all the time saying how people get them and ask for them and they're important. And I'm like, I don't even ask for them.
No, it's
I don't
crazy.
ask. People have said, do you want me to send you references? And I'm like, no. Who is that irresponsible? Trying to find a nicer word
Yeah.
than dumb, right? Irresponsible that they would give you anybody who would say anything even remotely
Correct.
negative.
Correct.
And then even if they did, you're not supposed to. So like you can get in trouble if you say something
course.
negative. So I'm just confirming your employment.
Yeah. Yeah. They worked for me.
Right.
Any
Like
concerns?
you can't ask
No.
any questions you really want to ask.
Exactly.
So I think they're a colossal waste
Yeah,
of time.
no,
I
I-
don't understand why people still use them and have
know.
them hold weight.
Yes, I
Yeah.
completely agree.
You can
with
find
that.
a lot more by
Just
Google searching,
someone. Exactly.
100%.
Oh my God. A couple times we were interviewing people and we Googled them and,
And
we were
some-
like,
their accounts were not private.
Whoa,
Make your
yeah.
accounts private if you're looking for a job.
don't post things on the internet that will come back to haunt you later on in
Correct.
life.
Correct.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. You can't lead everyone on your team in the same way. You can have your core leadership values and the things that are important that make you a leader, but you have to be aware of how your teammates respond to constructive feedback, positive feedback, all
Yep.
the things. I love the thing that you always say, carrot
Carrot
or
or
stick.
stick. Yeah.
Like, do you dangle the carrot in front of somebody or do you hit them over the head with a stick?
Yep.
That took me a while to learn. Like,
Yeah.
figuring out how to become a leader and then figuring out how to make the individual members of my team most effective
Yep.
and how they respond.
How they'll
to me.
hear you the most.
exactly.
Right. Yep.
It's a learned thing.
Yep. Yep. I like that. That was also a Ted line, carrot or stick.
Oh, Good old
He has
Ted
a lot of really
Lasso.
good Ted.
I know.
No,
Oh,
Ted.
oh,
Ted
Ted
Lasso.
Lasso. I've got Ted Lasso on the brain because the new season is
Not Ted
happening.
Lasso. Ted Stimson. Yeah.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah. Thanks, Ted. So having a career versus a job, you hear me say this a lot, and so that I think is an important. That's a huge distinction between the two.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with either. Right. But depending on your company, like our company, I always say we really want to hire people who are looking for a career, that they want to further their skills, they want to contribute, they want to grow, they want to expand, they're invested in themselves and their career and their path.
Yes.
People who have a job are, again, no judgment, right? There are some people that just want to go to work, do their job, clock out, don't want to think about it again. Right. And it's in our environment, I'll use that, a smaller environment where everybody kind of rolls their sleeves up, your hands in lots of different pots. It's like you can't really have that attitude as easily. But the flip side of that is I also need to make sure people know that we're investing in them and we are reciprocating that loyalty and that commitment. But I think there's a big distinction between those two. And that took me a while to learn that and then learn to hire for what makes sense for us.
Yep, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do well at the huge agency in Boston. I always use the example of, somebody picks up the phone, somebody dials the phone, somebody hangs up the phone. I'm like, just give me the fucking phone, right? Like I just I can't stand it. But that's how they're structured, and it's just very different.
Oh, it's so true. That was like at the bank when I worked in banking. There's so many jobs, which again, fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is a little too slow for me.
Like I can't, right.
Yeah, you clock in at 8 and then 12 to 12:45 is lunch. You clock out at 5. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of something important.
You clock out at 5.
Clocking out at 5. I'm
like I just can't.
Wow, okay.
I don't work that way. My brain doesn't work that way.
No, I was like, I'm going to stay. I got to finish this. And they're like, wait, what? And
right.
Like, okay. All right. Great. My last one is you don't have to be physically in the office with your team to form a good connection with your team. And I learned this like by doing, because obviously we're 100% remote here, virtual. And in my other agency, we were not. We were all in person. And I have built better relationships with the people at this company quicker than in office, which was shocking to me. I thought it was going to be more challenging.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you're in the office, you're trying to get things done, you're doing the quick coffee break. Like it's just, there's so much going on. And here, it's very intentional about how you reach out to people and how you communicate with people. So just different. But I do think that a lot of leaders think like, oh, I have to be physically present with my team and seeing what they're doing all the time in order to effectively lead them and have the right output. And that's just not the case. Like you'll know if people aren't doing their job. You'll know if connections and culture aren't happening. Like it'll be apparent.
Right. Yeah, it'll be definitely apparent. One thing is interesting. I have a hot take on virtual. So I agree with everything you just said. Obviously, I know virtual can work, right? Yes. I do think there's a difference, and this is where I think some companies are getting it wrong, where if you have the majority of people in the office and then you have, let's say you have 3/4 of the people in the office, 1/4 of the people at home, that's where it can actually be a little bit of a disadvantage for the 1/4 of the people that are at home. It's calling in to a meeting when there's 10 people in a meeting room and you're on the phone. It's harder to contribute, right? You actually get more paranoid that are people doing things? Am I missing out on things? Are they going to make decisions without me? Or are they? So I think that has to be carefully balanced. And I think some companies are moving towards everybody's in the office on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then everybody's at home on Mondays and Fridays or whatever. Yeah. That I think will work better than this sort of split shift.
I would also say the reverse. The 3/4 of the people in the office are then resentful toward the
1/4 that are at home. Right. That's
which
true
just
too.
Isn't really fair. It's really not fair for anybody.
Right.
There's got to be some kind of equitable
way to manage
to figure it out.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Some people don't actually want feedback. They say they do until they get it, and then they don't.
You always say, like, you asked me for the feedback, and I gave it to you.
This drives me insane.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, don't ask me for the feedback if you don't want the feedback.
Correct. So, like, as an employee, right, if we're looking at this as sort of a peek behind the manager lens, don't say it if you don't mean it.
Correct.
because you're gonna get it,
You're gonna get
right?
it. You might not want
And
it.
and don't say it if you think all the feedback is just always going to be positive. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've had this happen so many times, and it's like it's frustrating because,
Yeah.
and as a manager, you give the feedback. At least for me, I give the feedback solely because I want people to get stronger and better and be successful and whatever, right? And it's really hard when you're not met with sort of the acceptance and the listening ears, if you will, that you would expect,
Do I know
especially if
listening ears?
somebody has asked for it or
Yeah.
has said, no, I can take it. I want to hear it. I want to be better.
Yeah.
Do
Don't
you?
ask for the feedback if you're just looking
Do
to check the
you?
box.
Right.
Like, ask for the feedback because you want the feedback.
Correct.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have any other ones.
Okay. I have one other one, but I already said it. It's the mutual commitment. It's like the best teams are built on mutual investment,
Yeah.
right? Companies don't do this enough.
They don't. I agree.
I think a lot of times managers and companies expect 120% from their teams and they only give them 80% back.
Oh, if 80%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that doesn't work. And you can't expect people to invest in your success if you're not willing to invest in theirs.
Yep.
It seems so basic to me.
It's not
And
how
I've been doing it for
capitalism
how many
works.
years?
Yeah.
Right? We've done it in good years. We've done it in harder years. Like, it's doable.
Yeah.
If anybody says it's not doable, it's wrong. It's doable.
Yeah.
So
This is the exception, not the rule.
I'm happy to be the exception. I'm
yes,
pleased
thank you
to be
for
the
being
exception.
the exception.
Yeah.
It's not like that out there in the real world. It's like very you churn and burn people,
Yeah.
which
Well,
is probably why you see a lot of people leaving.
right.
Because
Right.
you're literally getting the life sucked out of you at a lot of these companies.
Right.
For what? And
Right.
then you hope for the best somewhere else.
But like giving people the two things that people care about are, well, I'll use this example. Okay. So this is a real world example for our agency this year. So at the beginning of the year, we had some transitions that we weren't expecting at the end of last year and at the beginning of this year. And it put a lot of pressure on the internal teams, right? We had to people were working extra. They just were. And my team is amazing. And everybody just rolls their sleeve. Nobody ever complains. At least I don't ever hear it. Everybody just figures it out.
You get it done.
And we work together and we get it done. It's always the attitude of the team. We'll figure it out. And just for the record, I am also that way. So you can't expect this of your teams if you're not willing to jump in and do whatever you need to do to get it done, right? And
Yep.
so I try to also do that where I can, right? But once things slowed down a little bit, we kind of got through the 4 or 5 months of transition. We had somebody went on maternity leave, didn't come back expectedly, which of course that's going to happen, but you had to sort of manage through it. I decided that we were going to close the office every Friday in the month of July as a thank you to the team.
Yeah, which was great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I enjoyed it too,
Yeah.
but you have to do things like that to give back to people and to tell people, thank you. I see you. I see what you've done and you've worked really hard.
Yep.
And I want to do something to say, I value that and give you some time back. Because that's what people care about. What they make, the money they're making, and time. I would argue time off is as valuable as the money.
Absolutely. And it's valuable for the company too, because then that employee is going and refreshing and resetting,
Right.
coming back with a clear head.
Right.
And then they're contributing more.
Right.
Especially after it really was like a 5-6 month sprint.
It was.
All hands on
It was
deck.
crazy.
We
Yeah.
got it all done.
Yeah.
But by the end of that, people were tired. And
Yeah.
you could tell. And you could show in the work. And it was nobody's fault. It was
No.
just like the period
No.
that had to happen.
Yeah.
So just to have a little bit of a reset.
Yes.
I can see people are
Yeah.
have the, the clarity back and okay, we got this. We're
Yeah.
ready for the next things that happen.
Yeah. So that's just that's a good example of mutual commitment.
Yeah.
And did it inconvenience the 4 days that you're in? Were those 4 days a little more stressful? Was it, maybe, but it was, I agree. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
And you probably are too, right? It's just,
Everyone feels like,
Yeah.
just took a deep breath.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
exactly.
we're back.
It's doable, I guess
Yeah.
is my point. Even if it's a little painful, it's doable.
Yep.
And you can't, I also, another hot take, I feel strongly when you're giving time off. We've tried summer Fridays and it was just it was a nightmare. We're not big enough to be able to.
It was too logistically
It was
challenging
hard.
to manage everyone's schedules around different Fridays.
Right. We tried to keep, it's easier if you just close the office because then, people still check in. You have to still check in. We still have clients, but once or twice. I don't think there have been any issues this time around, but it's easier just to shut the office down instead of trying to balance this. Okay, well, you can take off a few hours early this week and then next week you can take, so anyway, that's a really good example of mutual commitment. I think it's incredibly important and leaders should be prioritizing this more and not using the excuse of it's too hard.
Agreed. Preach.
All right. Well, that concludes segment 2 of our What is Your Manager Really Thinking? And the juiciest one is coming tomorrow in segment 3, which is going to be questions employees wish they could ask.
Oof.
And then we're going to answer them. Oof. So tune in tomorrow and find out what they are. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, if you've listened to more than one episode, you're officially part of the Dive Squad. And being in the Dive Squad comes with a very simple, very unofficial pact. We're asking for a little help. Follow or subscribe wherever you're listening and share this episode with one person you think would love it. That's how Ducks Unplugged can grow and you'll be a part of it. We'll see you next time.